Good morning, Hojo staff, students, and families. Ya Teabina. We're ready to start our day, so everybody please rise. Place your right hand over your heart. Bodies are still, voices are off, eyes are on the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday. That was a short week, huh? Yesterday and today. So today is January 22nd, 2021. So I understand there is some snow in the forecast, but we'll see what happens. So just stay tuned and watch for announcements to come in that direction. Okay, friends. Our music this week from Mrs. Neff is from a composer that we've heard from before, but it's a new selection. So let's listen to it again today. Do you remember? First tell me the composer. He's the same composer as Clair de Lune. Claude Debussy, that's right. And the name of this piece, Petite Suite en bateau, right? En bateau, French for on a boat, en bateau. So nice, soft piano music. And if you watch the video that Mrs. Neff has put on our YouTube page, you can see that the people playing that music, that are performing that selection, are about your age. So it's pretty impressive. Hopefully some of you are taking advantage of Mrs. Neff's music lessons and are getting some training in one of the instruments so that you too could be performing a selection. Claude Debussy, Petite Suite en bateau. All right, for artists this week, our new Mr. Berg, the second Mr. Berg, has given us the artist whose name is John Singer Sargent. Did you say it? John Singer Sargent. That's right. And he's an American artist, but he takes some of his inspiration from Velázquez. Remember our Renaissance painter who painted portraits? And so John Singer Sargent painted some portraits of some people who could afford to have portraits painted. So that was only the wealthy people. And remember yesterday we met these two friends? Edward and Marie-Louise Paillon. And you can see by the way that they are dressed and the things in the background, fancy rugs, that they are from a wealthy family. And it's interesting because you can see in the background how everything's kind of blurry, but their faces are very, very clear. And you can even make out their personalities because she looks like she's going to jump right off that chair and tell you what. And it looks like her brother is used to hearing it too. And now we have some new friends to meet. This title of this one is The Daughters of Edward Darley Buat. Edward Darley Buat. Here are his daughters. Also you can see that there's a fancy rug and that there are big vases or vases on the sides, and that the background is kind of blurred, but that you can see their faces very clearly. You may not be able to see so clearly online through the video, but if you look it up online you can see it. And those are the daughters of Edward Darley Buat by John Singer Sargent, painted in 1882. Just so we don't forget, we need to remember our architecture too. What are we looking at here? Lincoln Memorial, did you say it? And this one? U.S. Supreme Court, that is correct. And how about this one? Not in the United States, but looks very similar to the other two buildings. The Parthenon in Greece, 1447. I'm sorry, 447 BC. 447 BC. So 400 years before the turn to AD, which we are in right now. So we're 2021 AD. And this was 447 BC. And yet, these buildings were built probably around the maybe 1800s, because I'd have to double check. I'll look that up and see when some of these buildings were built, the exact date. Because it didn't happen overnight. 1776, we declared ourselves free from which country? England. And it takes a while to build up all of these monuments and buildings for our country. Okay, friends, today we said it's the 22nd. No birthdays today. After all those birthdays yesterday, no birthdays today. So we've learned the Declaration of Independence. We say the preamble to the Constitution every day, right? We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. That's the introduction to the Constitution. We say that every day. And we've also learned the Gettysburg Address. And we've been working on the Bill of Rights. So we have gone through the first 5 amendments. But today, let's see if we can remember the first 4. It's been a while since we've done them, okay? So the First Amendment, if you remember it, say it with me. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Did you remember that one? Okay, let's try the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. How'd you do? Okay, let's do the third one. No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. Okay, Fourth Amendment. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. How did you do? Did you remember those? Well, we're going to have to keep practicing. We want to know what the Bill of Rights, like the first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution, so that we know what our rights and responsibilities are as citizens, right? Because it's we the people who are in charge of this government. Okay, so for announcements, we have report cards that are just about ready. I'm hoping we can get them in the mail today. If not, hopefully first thing Monday. So second quarter report cards will be going out. If you have an incomplete or a not passing in math or your English class, which is like literacy for our K4, and you also have literacy for the older kids, but you also have an English class. So literacy, English, and math. We need to be passing in those areas in order to be able to be promoted to the next grade level. If you're not passing in those, and some of you may have an incomplete, you can make up an incomplete. You just need to do the work and get with the teacher to see what you need to do. If you are not passing or you have an incomplete in another subject area, it's not as serious, but we want to try to get as much done as we can. So make sure literacy, math, and English, those classes, you have a complete or a pass in those classes. Stay in touch with your teacher, ask what you need to do. In some cases, you may need to go back to quarter 1 or quarter 2 to do some work. But in your other classes, try to stay current. So in history and science, try to stay current, but you may need to go back to do your literacy and your math. Otherwise, you may not understand the next lesson because the lessons sort of build on themselves. So once you learn how to do one thing, then they add to it and add to it and add to it. So if you don't go back, it'll be much harder to try to jump in right now. So talk with a teacher to make sure you know what to do. Okay. And that's all we have for announcements, other than just to make sure we watch for announcements coming about any weather at the beginning of the week. So, okay, let's do our student pledge together. I will do the good, I will learn the true, and I will love the beautiful. And I hope you have a great day today and a great weekend.